Morning, welcome back to the channel. So when we first left off on Friday on the 4,000 square foot custom home, we were loading the building with the trusses. The trusses had come in late Friday morning, and we started loading the house with the trusses. And the guys worked Saturday and Sunday, and now it's Monday, and as you can see behind me, they have the building completely rolled out. So what they're doing now is finishing up the trusses, putting the fascia board on. That's the rim that goes around the edge of the trusses. They're putting the fascia board on. This is getting a soffitted in eaves, so they're going to be doing their framing underneath the eaves to make that level across for the soffit. It's going to have some foam detail because it's Spanish style. But they're going to continue on with these trusses, finishing out the trusses right here. They're also putting on some hardware straps. As you can see back there on the back wall, you can see the long straps he's putting on those shear walls. Okay, that's part of the shear transfer and part of the drag for that shear wall. So they're putting straps all the way across. That's a requirement. And they're going to continue on with these trusses right now, get this thing ready for sheeting, finish up the fascia board today, start sheeting this thing tomorrow. We want to have this thing sheeted out by the end of the week. So it's Monday. We're making good time on this house. Like I said, it's 4,000 square feet. We've only been framing now for 2 weeks. So actually today is 2 weeks. So they're going to continue with what they're doing, finish putting on all the hardware that's required. And I'll go down and take some footage so you guys can see what's going on. But so far so good. You know, the weather has changed for the better, finally. You know, we had weather up to 110 all the way up to 119 degrees. But today it's like 79 degrees, so it's absolutely beautiful. You know, the weather's good, the view is good, and it's a great day. So hit the subscribe button, join the channel. Hopefully you can learn something by watching these videos and watching these projects. That will help you with your project. That has to go on. You can see the shear wall right here. Full length straps have to be solid nails. Solid nailing on this strap all the way across. One up there, one up there. So, because we're in earthquake zone, that's some of the straps that have to go on this building. Just another part of all the hardware that we have to do. It's never ending. As you can see, he's putting the straps on up there, and they have to wrap all the way around the building. So he's getting that taken care of. We'll get all that on, all that nailed off solid, and then we'll finish up the trusses. You can see the trusses have to be finished right here. We'll finish up the trusses and start sheeting this thing. Okay, so the guys are putting all the fascia up down here, and the plan is, if you can see the fascia right here above me, that's this board right here that runs around and ties into the trusses. The plan is to have a return level soffit with foam detail underneath it. But we've run into some design flaws on this project, several of them. And one of the design flaws is there's going to be an 8-inch foam, arch foam detail underneath this return level soffit. However, that is not going to work on the back of the house. You see all these arches that we have. So we have arches all along the back of the house, as you can see over here behind me. We have arches all along the back. If we return that soffit back level, stucco it, and put a foam detail, that 8-inch foam is going to hang down. Oops. That 8-inch foam is going to hang down below this line right here. So the 8-inch foam will hang down into the arches, and that doesn't work. So this is something I'm going to have to run by the owner. Right now, the options are this. We lower all these arches, which would take away from the design, and we don't want to do that. Or we omit the foam detail. We just stucco level back the soffit, stucco that, and have no foam detail. Now that also takes away from the design of the house because it's a Spanish style. So not having that detail, well, that's one of the options. I'll show you on the plans over here the foam detail that I'm referring to. So just like right here, we had to put this pop out wall for the electrical stub out because on the plans it showed nowhere for this panel to go. So we had to stub out the concrete. You can see what we did down below. We stubbed out the concrete, put all of our electrical stub out there, and we built this wall here. And even so, if we put foam, it would have to go around that. But That was another design flaw. So right now, I've got to get the owner on the phone, find out what he wants to do about the foam detail. I'll show you here on the plans what that looks like. You can see right here, here's the trusses. We're gonna level that back, and there's the foam detail right there. So that's the foam detail I'm referring to. That foam detail will hang down into those arches. So that isn't going to work. We've also run into some issues with the stairs. I had to remodel the stairs and come up with a different solution for those because it showed an arch stairway, and the arch stairway doesn't work because there's a bathroom underneath the stairs, and that would have left the bathroom with a 5-foot ceiling. So I'm gonna head out of here right now and head to another project, but first I'm gonna go meet with the owner and the architect to go over these design issues. These are things that we need to come up with a solution for today. And you know, the foam detail, it's not going to work. It's an 8-inch quarter round foam detail that's supposed to go under these soffitted in eaves. So that's not going to work. So I could come up with a different solution. I could put foam detail on the outside of the fascia and wrap the fascia with a foam detail. But if I'm going to do that, I need to run this by the owner. And if I'm going to do that, I need to figure this out today, what size foam detail I'm going to use, because when we sheet this roof, we're going to start sheeting this roof with a plywood tomorrow. I would have to overhang the fascia and overhang the foam detail, so when we put our roofing drip metal on there, it overhangs the foam. So I need to know what those dimensions are going to be, and I need to come up with a solution. Are we going to omit the foam altogether or put a different type of detail on there? So these are things I need to run by the owner, because ultimately it's his decision. He's the one that's paying for the structure. It's his house. So he hired me as the professional to build the house for him, but these are issues I need to run by him. Just like with the windows, I automatically know that I have to relocate the windows, and so that's what I did. We changed the size of the windows, we moved them up so they're no longer have trusses running right through the center of the windows. So I don't need to ask his permission to do that, because it's obvious it needs to be done. Nobody wants to look out their second-story window and look into the attic of the garage. So it has to be done. So these are things that you catch. And how you catch these things is by having knowledge in building. Okay, the issue with the stairs. I ran across the issue with the stairs when we were first doing the foundation. I was flicking through the pages, and I noticed these stairs are not going to work because there's a bathroom that goes underneath the stairs. So the design called for the stairs to go straight up and then have a radius at the top. There's no way that could work, because we would end up with a 5-foot 2-inch ceiling in the bathroom. I mean, nobody wants a 5-foot 2-inch ceiling in a bathroom unless you're the Hobbit. So that's not going to work. So we fixed the stairs, no problem. I redesigned them, took them up to a landing. There is no radius anymore on those stairs, and they're fixed. The windows, we just made the window a smaller size, and we moved it up about 7 inches above the trusses. You know, you add the truss in, and then when you put roofing tile, you want that window above that roofing tile. So we relocated all that. I need to run by the owner that this design for the foam detail is not going to work, so I'm going to go meet with him right now and let him know, you know, run by what I think a solution to the problem might be. You know, there's different foam detail. Like I said, we could wrap the fascia, and the fascia is the board that ties to the end of the trusses. You might call it something different if you're in a different state, but it's fascia board out here. So I could wrap that with foam detail or come up with a different solution. I just need to figure all that out today. But all of these issues should have been caught during the design phase and during the drawing of these blueprints. I've said for years and years and years, I've been in this trade for over 40 years. You should have building experience if you're going to become an architect. I think it will really benefit everyone if you have building knowledge. So some sort of construction knowledge. I'm not saying you couldn't go to school to be an architect and be a great architect, because there are a lot of great architects out there. I have several architects. I work off their plans. We never have any issues. Sometimes we have some minor issues, but that's to be expected. Okay, but these design flaws, trusses in the middle of the windows, stairs with a radius that don't work, foam detail that hangs down below the arches that are going around the house, these issues should have been caught. And I think somebody with vast knowledge in construction, when drawing these plans, would have caught those issues. So it's not a big deal. This is problem solving, okay? This is what building is all about. I don't care what kind of issues there are. I love building, and we're gonna fix all of it and keep this thing rolling forward. We've only been on it 2 weeks. We're already gonna be sheeting this roof. So we're gonna continue forward with this project, get these issues solved, run this by the owner so he knows what's going on, keep him informed of everything that's happening. He trusts me to build the house. You know, he doesn't have building knowledge, so we're gonna build him a beautiful home. We're going to deal with these issues. We're going to problem solve like you're supposed to, and we're going to move forward. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Hit the subscribe button. Join the channel. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can learn something by watching this project that'll help you with your project.